All right. Really proud of our football team last week. I thought we came out and improved in a lot of areas that we worked on throughout the week. Um, Thought we played with a ton of effort. I think we gave ourselves opportunities to win that game, needed to capitalize in some areas. Obviously, still got a lot of mistakes in there that we got to clean up. But that being said, I thought we took some really positive steps last week and growth as a football team. As the schedule shows, it doesn't get any easier as we get into this week. So we know we got a great opponent. Coach Day has done a great job up there. Tremendous talent, and got it at every position. They're big. They can run. They're well coached, and we know we've got our hands full traveling up there. But I know our team is excited about the opportunity to go play, ready to compete, and knowing that tall task in front of us yet. That being said, our team's going up there with one mindset, and a mindset to take care of business, continue to improve, and to get better and have an opportunity to give ourselves a chance to win.
Questions? Kelly, you want to start off?
Sure. What is it about these opportunities that you think are, what makes it good for your program to have these chances to go up and play in front of a big crowd? I know you guys have done that in the past, but what is it about it that your guys get fired up about?
Well, I think anytime the quality of the opponent that you're fixing to face, and our guys like to be tested at the highest level, and that's what you're getting an opportunity to do this week. Playing in front of large crowds, we do that quite often. That's not part of it. The tradition and the legacy that they have around their place. It's a special place in college football, obviously. That being said, we've been up there before, played there before. I think it's more about our guys enjoy the opportunity to go and compete at the highest level.
Questions?
Yeah, Coach, what do you remember about that last trip up to Columbus?
Yeah, played them pretty tough there for a little while, until the kind of storm hit. But, Dane made a couple of throws there late in the second quarter, about 3 or 4 minutes probably left into that half. One was kind of a misread by the receiver and him not just being on the same page. The other one was just a tremendous play by Hooker coming back across the field on a pick. But I thought our team played at a really high level that day for most of the day. Then we had the storm come in. I think we're in the locker room for about an hour and a half before we get back onto the field. And, at that point, I think they just tried to line up and really pound on us at that point. So I thought, I thought our kids played extremely hard. We gave ourselves some chances there in the first half. I think there was a 4th and short down there on the goal line that I went for that we were close to getting some timeout things, if I remember, in the middle of all of that. But, it was – I was proud of our kids and the way they competed.
Did you take anything from that trip that informs the way you'll prepare your guys this time around? I guess for the little things, the logistics of it, seeing the stadium for the first time and all that sort of thing. And then also just, more generally the quality of players that Ohio State has.
I think our guys are aware of that part of it. They know that Ohio State's got a lot of talented players. See that year in and year out. They do a great job recruiting and being able to attract that type of athlete. I think we've got good players too, and I'm excited for our guys to go up and compete and get an opportunity to test themselves versus one of the elite programs in the country. As far as the logistics of the stadium and goes, again, our guys have played in big stadiums. They played in front of large crowds. They've been in environments where it's loud. We got to handle those in the proper way, but we'll talk about them. We'll visit about them. Obviously, from a noise level standpoint, we'll work towards that this week. But I don't think they're going to be intimidated by, the size of the crowd or the stadium or any of those things.
How do you do that? You pipe in noise at Chapman, I assume, that just turn it up as loud as you can?
We'll be on the grass, for most of it. But, yeah, you've been to our practices. You know there's music at it. It'll just be a little bit louder during certain segments until we get too many complaints from the surrounding people, and then we'll turn it back down.
Hi, this is Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Hey, Rob.
Ryan Day, it's his first loss regular season, so where he's got to come back. I'm just curious, how do you coach differently after a loss versus a win? Is it fundamental change? And I'm not talking X's and O's as much as just sort of, psychologically and dealing with guys. And you always hear, a lot of coaches are easier on their team after a loss, but I just wondered where you come down.
Yeah, I think all of us are different. They handle it differently. I think more times than not, most coaches are in the mindset of, you get through that tape with them, you're going to study it, you're going to learn from it. I'm sure there are some critical things that they want to coach up and preach on. And you get back out to work, you're going to focus on your next opponent, but you're going to go back to some of the fundamental things that you got to make sure that you get right to give yourself a chance to win each and every week. So I don't know that he's going to coach dramatically different than what he did the week before. But there's some things maybe in some of those win games that you might let slide here or there. After losses, all of those are being addressed and being taken care of.
Is it true you can almost be tougher on the guys after a win? You've got their attention.
Well, I think it's a whole lot easier to correct some things after wins, because you still got a good taste in your mouth and you can, hey, we should have fit this differently. We should have covered this differently. Offensively, hey, we missed that block. We got to sustain that, hold on to it longer. There's some things like that after wins, you can coach up even harder because you still got through that game with a win. After a loss, you're still preaching those same things. You may be doing it a little more sternly. And, guys obviously have to, look at tape and really reflect and make sure that they are seeing it in the proper way and taking it constructively and then going out on the practice field and applying it.
Coach, with this Ohio State offense and, maybe the most explosive in the entire country, how do you brace yourselves for that? How do you think your defense is equipped to deal with it?
Well, I think more than anything else, you've got to eliminate, as many of the explosive plays as that you can. I mean, they've got a lot. I mean, the running backs are explosive. The receivers, they got dynamic receivers on the outside. The quarterback obviously is young but playing extremely well, can do it with his legs and with his arm. So you've got to eliminate those explosive plays as much as possible. And then you got to try to do a good job of being, really aggressive to an extent of trying to get them behind the chains. If you're first down, second down, first down, second down, you got to get them in those third down situations. You got to get them in those third down and long situations. You got to make them earn yards. You can't give them cheap yards. And you got to find a way to create a turnover here or there.
We've talked a lot about Shamari coming back from injury. I don't think we've talked as much about Johanse and what he means to this defense. What did you see from him in his recovery, and what have you seen from him in the first two games?
Yeah, I talked a little bit about Johanse last week when we were talking about Shamari, but Johanse has been unbelievable. He's gone through two of them now, and so he knew the track that he was going to have to take to get back and to be back right. That being said, he attacked his rehab. He was way ahead of schedule. Really wanted to make sure he got through fall camp and then got into the season. We've been able to accomplish that part of it. And then you see the level of play continuing to pick up each and every week. I thought he did some really nice things week one. I thought last week, his level even stepped up, made some big plays in the open space, fitted some things inside. But Johanse's this quiet leader that has this air of confidence about him. Guys believe in him. He believes in himself, goes out and makes plays, and he's a tremendous young man.
Coach, when you went up there in 2016, it was probably your best offense that you've had since you've been here, and then now is one of your best defenses most likely since you've been here as well. Do you feel like this team is better equipped to up, or is it all kind of a moot point? You're just going up there and just taking the team you got with you?
Well, I think overall, I mean, every game that we go into, it's about what we do as a team. It's going to be offense, defense, special teams. You got to have all three segments playing at a really good rate. I do think this is a talented defense that we have. Obviously, we need all of them over there to be able to perform at the level that we want to play at. Then offensively, kind of the same thing. I think we've got good weapons. We've got guys that are really stepping up. I thought, especially in the second half the other day, you started to see us starting to come around offensively and kind of gain some confidence, gain some momentum. We've got to continue to take those steps, but it's going to be about us as a football team, not about one side or the other or special teams. It's going to be about what we do as a team.
Similar question. You hit on it there. You feel like you guys gained some confidence from that game in Stillwater, even though it was still a loss?
Well, I think offensively, you saw Davis do some good things. We got to get our running game back on track. This is a tough week to do that, obviously, with the opponent and what they do defensively. But we got to find some lanes. We got to find some movement there. We got to continue to keep developing throughout our passing game part of it and find a way to stay ahead of change, just like everybody else. So I thought we grew. We took some really good steps last week. We've still got a lot of room to grow. I don't think we've gotten close to the ceiling that I think we can hit. But I think we're taking positive steps, and that's what we want to see, continue to move forward and continue to develop.
Is it hard to kind of reinforce to your players how much that improvement happened when you come out with a loss? I mean, you obviously feel like you guys were a lot better team in your second game than your first game, but now you're going into a third game where you're taking on a top 10 team to show them, hey, we're improving, even though we didn't get the win.
Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult because at the end of the day, our main goal is to win. Doesn't matter if we're winning 3-0 or if we're winning 55-50, 52. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, our guys want to win. We want to win as a staff. That being said, you've got to continue to work and strive towards what your goals are and where you're headed. So I think our football team understands that. I think we had opportunities and gave ourselves opportunities to win last week. We had a couple of things that happened, especially in the special team side of it, that really cost us. You can't have those when you're playing top 25 teams or good teams, or especially a top 10 team. So you got to play clean across the board. I thought we did a really good job of eliminating some penalties last week. Thought that helped us. We won the turnover battle. We won a lot of different battles on there, but the one that matters the most, which is, that win-loss column, that's where we want to get into.
Anything else for Coach?
I'll throw one more at you. Where does that atmosphere compare for you at Ohio State? Is there a better atmosphere in college football that you can think of that you've been stadium-wise, road atmosphere?
Oh, I mean, shoot. We've been to a few places. I mean, Oklahoma State's crowd's always good. You start banging on them paddles, and it's right there on top of you. OU's got a good crowd noise, and it's difficult to play in. Playing down in Austin is difficult. There's been a lot. At some point in there, to me, the noise level is what it is, right? So it's a big crowd. There's going to be a noise level part to it. Is it greater than other places we've been at? I don't think so. But I know that they're going to bring a lot of noise, and we got to be prepared for it.